both sort of gender theory books and personal accounts of transition, and we met as some very inspiring trans men and women to share their stories. There was also the great source, which was Lily's memoirs, Man Into Woman, which, although it's not entirely reliable because it's more of a biographical collage, there are other people who contributed to it, it did give me a great sense of what it was like to go through transition in that period. There's an extraordinary moment in the memoir where Lily actually was facing a decision, in all seriousness, between being lobotomised and having gender confirmation surgery, and such was her pain that she saw that as a genuine choice, which to me is quite shocking. But of the books I read, the most inspiring was Jan Morris's Conundrum, which, if you haven't read it, to me, it should be part of the canon of great literature. And the fact that it isn't, again, to me, it suggests prejudice, because it's a beautifully exquisite piece of prose about Jan's transition. And what I loved particularly was the book is haunted by this sense that even after transition, could there be some greater unity she could arrive at, there's a sort of spiritual yearning in the book which is marked in the early pages by a sort of quest for beauty and is still alluded to at the end. And that kind of informed my idea that I wanted beauty to hover through this film as this sort of promise as a destination, not just in terms of the art they're doing, but as a sort of as a goal at the end of the journey. And then of trans women I met, I owed a huge debt to Lana Wachowski, who I met early on, who was very knowledgeable on the story and shared some incredibly useful insight. April Ashley, who's a different generation of trans women in London, who's a bit of an icon there. But it was a big learning curve for me, and which keeps going to this day. And the other person who was helpful was on Les Miserables. Our musical director was a trans woman called Jennifer White, and actually the person who played the piano for Eddie Redmayne as he sung Empty Chairs, Empty Tables was Jennifer. And they all collaborated closely together, and she came in the post-production process, and I shared the film with her and got her comments.
I mean, on that note, unfortunately we do have to wrap up, but I did want to say, on behalf of